And we're back. What's going on, bruh?
It's a new day.
You flexing over
New day in America.
there?
New day. It's a new world. It's a new.
You got the Nina Simone playing in the background.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Feeling good.
Exactly. We need some news, Simone.
Oh yes. It's good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, man. Good to see you too. How have you fared this past year? And by that I mean the past 8 days.
It's been I think as Vivian Green, I believe her name is Vivian. Is either Vivian Green or Heather Headley? I think it's Vivian Green though. Who said it's an emotional roller coaster? I think it was a song. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. And I think I was sharing with somebody because I think I went back to work last Monday, and I was just seeing how folks were. I'm like, "How you doing?" For whatever reason, folks' spirits. I said, for whatever reason, folks' spirits were like, "I'm okay. It's fine. How's your week? It's fine.
Right.
How are you? Okay." You can feel it in the air. You can really feel it in the air. So these past 8 days, just grinding, trying to get stuff done. But it felt like it was a marathon of a week.
That it was. And yeah, a marathon ran in sprints.
Oh yeah.
Like here we go. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Non-stop. But we're here.
We are here. That we are. We've been here, but here we are. So, I think we have a little bit to get into today. Just a little bit. A little bit to get into today.
A few things.
Okay. So what you rocking over there, brother?
I'd had to celebrate the Equal Justice Initiative, my little Montgomery people. And it's getting a little chilly out. Even though it's beautiful right now, still when the sun goes down, that cold air was like, don't forget it's November. So a little flannel on top of the sweats, it's grays, doing the whole thing, trying to keep it alive. How about you? What you rocking?
First and foremost, brother, I just want to say and appreciate and admire your fashion right now. If we had a social justice fashion catalog, you would be on the cover. You got the flannel popping with the message.
Come on.
With the message, brother. So I salute you, brother, because you pulled that off.
Keep it warm, keep it comfortable, keep it bright, keep it hard.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Keep making it. We can't stop. Ain't no time to stop. But you gotta be comfortable.
Talk about it. So if there's someone out there listening who can make that happen, we need a social justice fashion catalog. The fall is still here. Apparently today was spring. Though. So, we can make it happen.
Very
here, love my people.
Good.
And you know why I love my people. I love my people, but my people showed up and showed out.
Yo, straight up.
And we'll get into that.
Yes.
But yes, sir. What you rocking there? You know what? I want to show you. It's hilarious because it hit me today. It hit me. I was like, that's what I got to choose. I'll show you the reveal later. Go right ahead. What you sipping on today?
See, now you got me thinking, because I wanted to pay homage to someone, and history's real important. So I had to pow.
Uh-oh.
I had to watch. I've been watching and learning.
Uh-oh.
Let me have my own. I've been watching. Let me see what it's like.
Hey now. Yes, sir.
Myself. So 1792, the year, the small batch. I ain't mad.
Well, I'm interested to know what you think, brother.
1792 in Kentucky.
Yeah.
We had a moment I was reading. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Hold up. Send it back.
Prepare. So what is it that you had to do?
So here's the thing, brother. I was, I went to, my little bar area situation, and I'm like, what bottle am I going to use today? And I was going to go with something else, but then, it hit me. I said, yo, this is too perfect. So here we go. Wait for it. Wait for it. A little Maker's Mark 46.
Beautiful. Brilliant. You got the plastic and everything.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Dipped in wax. Time to turn it around. I don't even know what 45 is. I don't even know that number.
I don't think there's a bottle out there that says 45. No, there ain't no 40. Oh, well, it's Colt 45.
Worst every time. Hey, a little note. Oh my goodness, that just hit me. That just. 1792 just came out the bottle. Okay, now.
Yeah. All right, let's get it.
Beautiful. This is so grown, folks.
Hey, now.
46. That's beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
I was like, it had to be the ancestors. They woke me up. They were like, brother, that bottle.
Right.
Went downstairs the same way we have lights right here. It was just shining on the bottle.
I was ready. Everybody was ready. Was ready. So, what you want to toast to?
I don't know, brother. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Anything else?
Not much to talk about. Let's toast to moving forward.
Oh, God, yeah.
Onward and upward. And brother, I know I've been following your feed. And I know there's something you want to toast to. I know there's something you want to toast to, brother, because it's history in the making. So what we toasted to, brother?
Maybe that sister who is breaking some barriers.
Breaking
some barriers, and turned it out. Miss Kamala Harris.
Oh yes,
it's a beautiful thing. She has a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah.
And she's dynamic and powerful. HBCU educated, like all the things, and powerful and dynamic, and don't take no stuff, and it's just like the newness we need.
Yes.
You know, like it's a distraction from all these older white men that have been doing it forever.
Oh.
And I think here comes this dynamic. Or let's just toast to Miss Kamala Harris.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I feel like that shoulders life needs to happen. But it's tasty.
It does. It does need to happen. It does happen, and it makes a good whiskey sour.
Ooh, I can see that. I can taste that. It's definitely spicy.
Yes. Which helps because it's not too sweet, but the spiciness with a little bit of the sugar and the lemon balance it out, brother.
How's 46 treating you over there?
I feel free.
I'm like, oh, I'm not so sure.
No, this it tastes good, brother. It gives you that hug you need. It gives you that hug you need. So
beautiful. It's good to get the hug you need.
Yes, sir. So take me through all the feels, all the emotions, all the things that you've been witnessing the past 48, 72 hours. How has life been? What have you noticed? What's happening in your life, brother? What's going on?
It's interesting. It's a wave of emotions, like up and down and this and that, this, that, and the third.
Yes.
It's all of that. It ranges from, it's funny, I'm in a contemplative state right now where I am finding myself thinking about people and their ways and this and that. Because, I watch as a world. This is the biggest thing. I miss being in New York.
Okay.
Because my friends are sending me messages like, yo, the block is lit. The block is high. I was like, oh. I had one person from next thing I come through. I was like, high five. Isn't this great? And I was like, it is. But that was it. There were two people sitting down, talking out front. One cat with a SEH shirt on, talking to somebody, and they just kind of looked and turned away. I was taken aback at how quiet it was, how eerily quiet it was up in the East Falls. Yet in the East Village was live and on and popping. And I think I had that motion of like, I gotta accept I don't live in New York anymore. That's not how we do. I gotta go drive to the spot where it's happening. It was happening. Downtown Philly was like popping off, and Germantown Avenue was popping off, my area was popping off. Midvale and East Falls was not. And there's a I got a sign in my window. I got the black folks win black votes win elections. I got that sign on the window.
Okay.
When I put that up, a day or two afterwards, a car was parked. A car I had never seen on the block ever, but was parked for a few days, right? Not right in front of my door, a little bit up, with a bumper sticker that said "gun-owning Trump supporter."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's quite a message to portray and share, So I'm trying to put all those things aside and focus on the victory and the call for unification. The large, even though it's still not everybody, but the large numbers of people that voted. This is the most people voted ever in a presidential election, and it's that's great. That's wonderful. That's important. That's valuable. I also find myself thinking, like, who is, what? A lot went down.
Mm-hmm.
A lot went down. So I don't know. I am pleased that we have a regime change coming through. I was so excited to not just see one type of person up on that stage. Like Trump's crowd was just ew. Like ew. Like all the women are over in makeup, hair done. Like it's almost like these men, like a certain type of woman, just dressed that way. And it was just icky. And to take it into the realness in terms of realms like politics and decisions and problems, it's even more problematic. And that 72 days now, that's going to be over. And I'm hopeful that this new leadership that we put in place, that it was a little scary, it was a little precarious there for a minute. I can't say I didn't believe it was going to happen, but I had a moment or two of like, this is taking a while. So I'm very excited for Kamala Harris and the guy she's going to work with to run the country. I think they'll do a good job. I hope they'll do a good job. There are some people that have historically had some problematic decisions and positions, which I want to run by you actually and talk to you about. But I'm all kinds of emotions for the past couple of days. How about you? How are you with all that happened?
So listen, I'm filled with a ball of emotions too, brother, because there's so many things that are happening right now. There's so many things that led up to this moment, and there's so many things that need to happen. So this moment is not only a moment, but a movement, as we talk about. Keeping that in mind, brother, there's one thing that you said, what I want us to come back to as well later on, about how close it was. And how folks, similar back to 2016, when folks didn't think it could happen, and it happened. How some folks are like, I can't believe it. I thought it would be a landslide. What? Why is it? Why has it? So I want us to come back to that. Thinking about all the emotions, all the things that are happening right now. Like I said, for me, I was talking to someone. I was like, if I wanted to use a sports analogy, we're still in America, so we're still in the same game. It's still the same game.
Oh, yeah.
Still the same game. And I think it's important for us to know our role and our position in the game and on the team, regardless of who the coaching staff is. Regardless. So we need to know that even if a coach gets fired and a new coach gets hired, we still need to know what our role is and what our position is on this team in this game called America.
Man.
We have to. And there's some spaces where, I'm going out in the streets. I'm like, hi, white person. You didn't say anything to me a few days ago. And now you smiling and saying hello and want to pretty much slap fives. You'd probably hug me if it wasn't for COVID. Like, what is going on right now? So, like, when you say we won, one, who's we? And two, what did we win? Because I feel like Trump, for a lot of, dare I say, probably the white liberal establishment, was a constant reminder of white guilt. And it's like, I need to get this person out of my space so therefore I can feel better about who I am, even as complex as it might be, in a space where I'm a good, well-intentioned person. I don't really like to really check my privilege or at least examine it as much, but I feel comfortable knowing that we are a country that presents and puts out an outward face that's contrary to the things that's been happening for the past 4 years. I think one person said it best. Eddie Claude. Yeah, Eddie Claude. He said it best on MSNBC. He's going to be one of the, I think, the opening keynote for POCC. He was like, listen,
he's brilliant.
This is not on Trump's shoulders. This is not just him. He's a manifestation of this country. And all this stuff has been happening that allowed him to get to the space that he's in. So let's not forget, just because bruh's out doesn't mean the racism, the bigotry, the sexism, the homophobia, all that stuff doesn't mean it's out. Doesn't mean it's out. So there's just so many pieces there. I don't want us to fall asleep at the wheel, so to speak, where it's like, yo, we got a brand new car. And it's like, nah, you got to make sure that car gets taken in for an oil change. Make sure those tires get rotated, adjust those lights. Like, come on now. So that's all I'm saying, brother. So there's a lot of stuff that I think needs to be kept center and a part of the conversation as we move forward.
To amplify your car analogy, we need to even do the, that like when you drive in the snow and do that undercarriage cleaning.
Yes.
Because that salt rush you can't see, and then all of a sudden the car just fall apart.
Yes.
It's like, what happened? It's like you weren't taking care of the whole vehicle. The machine needs to be like adhered, paid attention to. It's interesting. It's so funny you talk about the people walking up to hug you, because ain't nobody trying to hug me in East Falls. And I can't tell if I'm caught up in like missing New York, or I'm really impacted by like it's there are a few people, like somebody closed the street 2 blocks over, and we watched along this guy. He projected on a van, and people hang out. You know how it was. They had the fire pit and the beer and the chairs. It's just that's what they do. And I went over there and hung out. It was chill, but within like 20 minutes into it, some neighbors had complained it was too loud. That's one thing that happened. And then a homeboy came down the street. You didn't get a permit for this. What do you think this is? And then, he yelled here for a second, then like walked back up the block. Then got in his car, turned on his car and his high beams, and laid on the horn. And I was like, wow, this is, at least we know it's real. I'm probably in this neighborhood, because this is a very progressive, liberal neighborhood. Probably 10% went for Trump. I would say that amount of people, not more than that. But it's also not a place full of Biden signs and like full of like loud, aggressive push for Kamala and her partner. And that's not wasted on me. Like, I'm like, that's something I'm taking note of. I'm very aware of that. The community has not stepped forward in some way. Like, I saw the footage in Germantown Avenue.
Oh yeah, we drove through it.
Going hard. I was like, I need to go drive to some of that, I guess, because that's not around here. And I was thinking about, because I was thinking this before we got on the session, with your discussion of the people running up want to hug you, and they're like, I think there's something to be said, or I want to know, how do you? I'll phrase it in a question. I'll let you reply. What is your process to awake the woke? How do you, Mikael, Israel, Mr. Yizzy, how do you awaken the woke?
I awake the woke by letting them know they're still sleeping. And sometimes I let them know that you're not only sleeping, you're probably dreaming too. And the thing about a dream is that unless you wake up and realize it's a dream, you just stay in that dream state. And everything seems idealistic and you're living your best life. And then some folks need to shake you out your sleep, them deep sleepers. Who think they're probably a lucid dream. They might be realizing they're in a dream, but they're woke in the dream and they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got this. We're doing this. You might have to shake them out that sleep and say, listen, this is really a nightmare, fam. And it might not be a nightmare for you, but it's a nightmare for a lot of folks. So I think, how do you awake the woke is to let them realize that there's so much work to be done. You know, because I don't know how you feel, because I've been thinking about it, and you know, we talked about last time, you know, a brand new day, and that's true in many respects. But I think again, it's the message and the messenger. When certain folks tell me, "Oh, it's a brand new day," I'm like, "What are you talking about? Is it a brand new day for you, for me, for us, for the country?" Because last time I checked, Black folks have been catching hell in America forever.
Oh man, please, come on.
Forever, no matter who was sitting in office. So is it a brand new day? Yes, in some respects, particularly if we're talking, me and you talking about it. When other folks are like, no, you just feel better and more comfortable about your privilege now.
Right.
You don't feel guilty about your privilege now
at all.
So, you know, I'm really careful when certain things come my way, because I want to push back, but I also want to be positive. I do want to be positive. I don't want to be cynical. I don't want to be like, you know what? No, this is a big deal. It's a big freaking deal. To quote our incoming president, this is a big effing deal, right? When he told Barack that, right? Mr. Barack, President Obama. So when we're talking about that, right? There's that piece, but there's the other piece where I'm like, I feel you, but let's rah honk the horn and keep it moving and think about what's next. Now, how are we going to hold folks accountable? How are we going to make sure that now that we've got the folks that we wanted to be there, that they cash in on the checks that we wrote for them, you know, and just making sure that happens. The other piece I want to go to before I forget, you know, the gentleman who was leaning on his horn in the car. It seems like you don't need a permit to be an a-hole these days. You need a permit for all this other stuff, but you can just do whatever you want.
Right, exactly.
So it's just so many things where it's like, this again, this too is America, and there's a lot of things we need to deal with. We haven't really cleaned our laundry, let alone admitted that it was dirty. So it's like, what we gonna do? Understand, we've been separating clothes for years, colors and whites, right? We've been separating for years, and then when are we gonna realize we all a bunch of clothes and we're dirty and we need to wash it, clean it? Someone need to take this ish to the laundromat in order for America to get clean.
Exactly. Put some ultra strength detergent in there.
Yes.
Because it's just a wreck.
Yes.
Yeah, that gentleman, that's funny. You talk about the permit. My mind does go to a space of like, how do you think it's okay when the whole block is out there in the chairs, chilling, doing their thing? How do you think it's okay for you to come up and just like, look, y'all can't do this, and I'm shutting it down. You're one person. It was like 35, 40 people out there chilling, doing the thing, like relaxing, waiting for the show to start. They had it turned down. They didn't want it too loud because one neighbor had complained. It's just interesting. I found myself very frustrated. The speeches the two of them gave were phenomenal. Like, we haven't had that kind of balance on the national stage for America in a good 40+ years. Good 4 years. So it was great to have that back. Like, I was like, I'm feeling this. Like, you all are making sense, delivering words. Like, it felt good. And I did find myself being like, what is all this going to mean? What is all? Is this all just lip service? How will this pan out? What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm trying to remain hopeful, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's real hard to remain hopeful.
Yeah, particularly in a year that has brought us so much trials and tribulations. For this to be a victory, and realizing, one, 2020 ain't over yet.
No.
Number one. No. And then number two, realizing that once January does come and there's an inauguration, etc., right? First of all, let's not talk about the nonsense that's going to happen in between now and then. Let's not forget about that. It's just going to be a whole bunch of nonsense. It's already started.
That press season, at the fourth season, food, whatever delivery thing.
It's already happening. So keeping those things in mind. But again, let's, the same way folks showed up and showed out, let's keep that same energy. We must.
We must. It's absolutely necessary for us to have the transition and the change. I don't know. I want to remain and still believe But just today, I'm not in that. Like I was great. I was excited, but after the speech, I felt almost like, well, okay, so what do we do now? You know, the speech is fantastic, wonderful. I want us to rely on it. Homeboy hasn't stepped forward and done a concession speech yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's going wild. He's going wild out.
Mm-hmm.
He's going wild out more than he is. So I just don't know.
Mm.
I find myself really at a loss.
So
All this.
So here's my question for you, brother, because I mean you've been doing this work for years in terms of really understanding the heart of the matter, traversing the country, giving keynotes, really digging deep into our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So when we think about the fact that it was a close election, when we think about the billions of people who voted for Trump, and I'm not talking about those folks who voted like, oh, these are the policies I support, etc. I'm talking about the folks who voted for what he represents as a person.
Yeah.
How do we make sense of that? If you're giving a keynote address tomorrow, or you're talking about all these, like, how do you engage in that conversation to let folks know, yes, we've had this situation that's historic that everyone could feel good about, or a lot of people could feel good about, but we still got to deal with this thing over here.
You know, the thing I've been thinking about that a lot, and the way I'm going to deal with it is because I've been sitting here like, what's the point moment? But what I'm going to do is continue to force the education, because my work really is about people just don't know. We have a thing we use, about the steps to new awareness model. The first step, unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. And a lot of people just do not know what they don't know. And I think people like existing in that space because it's harder to know and then continue to push for what you know is wrong. You know what I mean? You know systemic racism is real, and you hear it, and you understand it. You can look at our history and go, well, this is not anecdotal, this is factual. Some folks fall into a spot of like, oh, well, I don't know if I can deal with that. And they just stop their flow of information. With my work, I'm for pushing people to understand and know. I'm giving a talk on Tuesday, big one. And I'm starting out, like I've restructured it. I'm starting out, I'm gonna have everybody read the cease and desist letter.
Yes.
Have you read that thing?
You shared it with me, brother. I did take a look.
Woo, 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 woo. The language in that is so bad. To teach anti-racist education is anti-American. These people who are doing this work, apparently, you and I, are unpatriotic, and we're promoting the notion that America is evil. And I was like, I never said America was evil. I said there's some evil things that were committed here, and there's some people who are very problematic. But for you to be like, oh, he said America is evil, that's a real strategic, terrible way of going about it that is controlling. So I have been thinking a lot about how, because I have a couple of presentations this week, and how I'm going to do it. I really am going to stick to more of the facts. Like, here are the facts in the history. This is what systemic racism is. This is how it played out. Talk among yourselves. I can only bring the plate in front of you so many times before I accept those who are going to eat and those who are not going to eat.
Yep.
It's complicated. It's complicated. I've been thinking about it all weekend, and it's hard because I'm excited. I'm like, yes, ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead. The witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. But who's coming in to replace the witch? And who are the munchkins and the people and the folks inside the Emerald City? Who are all the people? But I can't lie, I've been thinking about that Wiz, Can You Feel the Brand New Day scene also too. Oh, that's so good, so good. But I hope that answers some of it, because tough one. I just believe in trying to drop the knowledge and be like, this is the truth of our country. This is our history that you don't know. And stop for a second, think about you don't know it. Let's stop, like really sit with that. Think about, why don't I know this? Why don't I know this history? And then decide how you're going to move forward now. Yeah, it's jacked up. It's jacked up.
Yeah, I just listening to you, I think what I'm hearing too is, how do we strike that balance and find the balance between optimism and realism? Understanding that we should be optimistic about what's happening, but also realistic about what's happening. And how do we hold those two things together? Because I'll liken it back to, we talked about this a few times, the whole Black Act movement at schools. And there were a lot of schools who got that work.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of schools who got that work. But there were also some schools who skated by and didn't get that work. And I think some of those schools are like, see, we're cool. We don't have any problems here. No one said anything about us. So I'm thinking about a place like Pennsylvania. Things actually, it's different from 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about places like, think about Georgia, thinking about Wisconsin, think about Arizona, think about these places, right? And I understand, like, there's things that happen, there's ebbs and flows, etc. But how do we make sure that we can be optimistic and realistic, not get caught up in the moment to the point where we, like, lull ourselves into a false sense of complacency, or a false sense of, we're better than what we really are, or you know what? See, America's not that racist at all. Like, so how do we do that, brother?
Yeah, I had to take off my sweater because 792.
I hear you. Listen, that's fall catalog page 2. That was the cover photo. Now you in the catalog, brother.
I'm getting warm inside with each sip. It's like, what's happening is my body's like, oh, it's winter time. Let's heat ourselves up. Wait a minute, y'all. It's 70-something degrees outside. Like, chill.
Yep. Yeah.
But it is good sleeping weather because it's at night. Yeah, that looking at all these states and thinking what we're going to do is so real. It's so real, so complicated. It's so much, and I still remain hopeful. But I did look and see there are a whole lot of people that voted for Donald Trump. Look at what he talks about and who he is. I mean, I get it. People are going for their own personal satisfaction and needs and desires and goals. But I still am a little taken aback. And I also am thinking about, that's why I asked a question about how to awaken the woke. So I've seen a lot of people who are just like going down paths, like, this happened and this and the third, and we got to change this. And I'm like, look around your personal life. People that I know. I'm like, how extensive is your experience with people of color? How many good Black friends do you have? What kind of change have you taken in your life to participate in this dialogue and turn it around and fix it? What do you do besides go to a march or two? How are you actually truly changing internally? So I don't know. I did find myself very perplexed. So I'm hopeful, but I'm also still very like, what the heck is going on? What's going to happen? So I don't know. I'm trying to remain positive and hopeful, but I just don't know, dude.
Yeah. If nothing else, what I have seen, if nothing else, I think some folks who lost a lot of energy, I think they are re-energized.
Yeah.
Or feel like they actually can affect change and do this purpose-driven work. I feel that I've seen that, whether it's on timelines or email correspondence, and and part of me, I feel a type of way about that. I'm like, we supposed to be doing this regardless in the face of whatever, because that's what we're called to do. That's actually the work. It's messy. It's not going to be easy. No one rolls out the red carpet for you, right? So it's like it's never like, oh well, we're going to put the work on the back burner for a little bit. It's not safe out there. It's like we've been trying to tell you it's not safe out there.
Hello. Yeah, it's interesting that work line. I had a great session with white male said this. Well, it's a few people. The white man said this, and I thought it was so powerful and stayed with me. He said, "I'm just having a revelation that I can't think about this as work. I think about it as just like a way of being. Because if it's work, that means I do it, punch my time card in, and I'm done." And he's like, that doesn't seem right. In the context of this conversation that we're discussing, it doesn't feel right that I'm like, okay, work is done. I was like, good for you. Good for you, because you're right. For me, you and I, it's work, but it's not work. It's Tuesday. It's like what we must do. Yeah, right. Yeah, but beyond all that, I'm glad Homeboy has to go.
Oh yeah.
And the people went on the memes and the videos. Oh my gosh. Well, do you have any favorite? Before I want to go into that universe, but before that, do you have any other thoughts on this situation we're talking about here?
No, I just we have to remain vigilant. Of course, it's cool to celebrate, but let's make sure we continue to focus on the road ahead.
Yeah,
realizing that it's not paved. It's not paved. It's not smooth. There might not be even lines drawn yet.
Right. We don't really know where it is.
Exactly. So how do we navigate?
It's over there.
How do we navigate that and make sure that we're heading in the right direction?
Right.
Bringing people along, and getting to this place that's better for all of us in terms of being able to not only live. That's the bare minimum. Can we live? Can we breathe? And then also like not just survive, but thrive.
Yeah. Yeah, you brought that line to me, the "Can I live" line. Makes me think about how powerful that is. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had some answers. It's interesting how heavy this conversation feels. And I think it's because it's real. Yeah. And we're hopeful, and we also, you and I professionally spend a lot of time interpreting and trying to understand this, and can see it on a very intense level. I think about that. Like some people think about this when they go to the session or workshop. You and I are making plans, put things together. Even our little bourbons, whiskey celebration is all like in it and about it. Yep. Because we can't help it. Look at our skin. We can't help it. Our skins match with our intellectual self. Brings us to the table. But I gotta say, what do you say? No, I'm just listening, brother. One of my favorite memes, I have to say, was a little video where Joe's on stage and he goes, "Before I say something, I want to play a little tune for you." Yeah, have you seen this one? I haven't seen this one. Oh man, it's so good. And he pulls out his phone and he does that and holds it up to the mic. And it's very like old person, like, here I go. And it goes right into, "You about to lose your job." You about to. And it shows a picture of Obama getting up to the beat, doing his little dance. And everyone else, and I was like, yo, it was so good. It was so good. I was very impressed. That's dope. It's hilarious. And all those. I'm like, yes, every single one of them. Yes. Yeah, give me. Because we need to do something in this moment. But the memes, the videos have been ridiculous. Yes. That's one that I've seen too. Using the same thing. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. Like I've seen it. It's been repurposed in a number of different ways. It's so much. I'm just like, it's hilarious. It really is hilarious because King Apprentice himself is fired. But I still can't believe we had 4 years of that. Oh yeah, it was a 4-year reality show. I guess I don't know if it was 1 season or 4 seasons. I don't know what we want to do. I don't know if we could break it down because it seemed like it was a never-ending saga.
But what I'm really excited about, I'm excited to see the cabinet picks.
Oh, forget about it.
That's what I'm excited about because what people were saying is like, let's not forget, y'all. You know who else got fired? Betsy DeVos.
Oh.
And it's like,
wait. Let's let that sink in. I didn't even go there. Betsy is out. The education potentially can be like on a better track. I've been so like happy that Steve Miller is going to get kicked out. But Betsy DeVos, yeah, man.
It's like because you start to think about it. You're like, okay.
You know who else we ain't got to hear from no more?
Who?
Diamond and what's the other one?
Oh my gosh. So, oh goodness.
What's their names? Diamond and Supreme or what?
Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk.
No, it only make you kind of mad because when you hear like yo Diamond and Silk, you think it's about to be lit.
But yes,
Diamond and Silk in the house. Oh yeah,
royalty stuff.
Yeah,
Diamond and Silk. That's like luxury,
right? You be ready, and then them two clowns walk in. You're like, for real? It was embarrassing.
Ooh.
They ain't gonna have no big platform on stage. If they do, it ain't gonna be in the mainstream. Ain't nobody gonna care. So what now? What happens to? I'm sorry, were you gonna go somewhere? Because what happens to Ice Cube and what's the other one?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. What happens to them now?
So first and foremost, Lil Wayne. I just Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
It's like, brother, Ice Cube is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
A little bit more complicated. Lil Wayne I can't even take seriously. You know, brother's barely awake. You know, for a number of different reasons. I'm not going to go in on the brother. I won't do it. But you know, he along with our dear friend. So Weezy and Yeezy need some help. Weezy and Yeezy. Now Cube, brother. There's times I'm like, you're brilliant. There's other times I'm like, you good? It was funny. I never heard. There's like, I heard this. There's like, Ice Cube went from being Ice Cube to being Craig from Friday. It was like there's times when he's like, Ice Cube, it's like, you just pulled the Craig from Friday. Get up, Craig. Get up, Craig.
That's perfect. Well, the thing, and I saw this. It was Malcolm X talking. Somebody pulled Malcolm X quotation out, and they showed him talking. He's like, "Look," he said, "Dick Gregory went on a whole list of people." He's like, "These aren't leaders. These are entertainers. They may do some good stuff, but you're putting too much stock in people that are not highly educated." I think back to, oh man, what's my man's name? Who sang Grandma Hands. We just lost him this past year. Use Me.
Oh, Bill Withers.
Brother Bill Withers. I once saw him speak at an ASCAP conference, and he said the realest thing that was so real and so good. And I was like, ooh, can we exist in this truth? And I want to segue into Mr. Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Talk about speaking the truth. Malcolm X said, we can't sit here and rely on these. You expect too much from these entertainers. They are not thoughtful, mindful leaders. Ice Cube is about the money, and he proved it. And it's kind of thing, you can't be mad, but you ain't got to take a national platform at this moment, at this precious moment, to come out your mouth like that, Despite all that you said, how you going to be NWA after police, and then how you going to do this? Like the two don't go hand in hand. So the Roy Ayers, I'm sorry, my Bill Witherspoon, goodness gracious, Bill Withers, look at me mixing all the people up, trying to get the celebrities. Bill Withers, he said this. Someone said, "What's your position on?" You talk about your song. He's talking about the song "Grandma Hands." You talk about you're going to see Grandma Hands someday in heaven. Da da da. And the guy says, "What's your position on religion?" He said, let me say this to you. Some people are following in behind people that are barely literate, who are interpreting one of the most complex texts in the history of man.
Mm.
And they're making life choices and decisions far behind these people that ordain themselves to be this or that, and they're barely literate. And you're going to make your life choices based on what that person told you.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, he said it. And the room was like, ooh, but it's real. It's real. You can't, if you have someone you're going to follow, for me, they need to be studied, well-read, authentic, can hold a conversation, make an argument, not, I'm not mad at fire and brimstone. I believe in it. It's where you feel it. But when you sit there and you watch a brother or sister tell you about how to be, and you like, you can't really read.
Or you're like, brother, I saw you outside yesterday with Diamond and Silk cutting up at Club Susu. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And I ain't mad. Them cutting up as a Club Susu, but maybe not with Diamond and Silk. So yeah, I go to that space around those issues. But yeah. So in terms of people giving us those real truths, did you witness Mr. Dave Chappelle last night?
See, you told me that this was going to be happening. I did not get a chance to see it, so that's on my schedule of things to watch. Okay. Now, did the brother bring it?
Yeah,
because he usually always does.
He brought it to. Oh man, I don't want to ruin the experience for you.
Okay,
but he basically presented and explicated, not explained, explicated the white male privilege situation and the problem with like white men and what white men have done historically, and all the things white men do and say. I think he shouldn't have to say. And oh my God! And this ending, woo!
All right,
Mikael. He called the world out.
All right.
Called the world. So he started talking about his great grandfather, who was a slave up until he was 10 years old. And said, I wonder what he would think if he could see me here now and all that he went through. And then the final line, woo!
All right.
I was sitting here like,
that's my homework. That's my homework assignment. As soon as we done, that's my homework assignment. I'm like, Amanda.
It'll be a good 10 minutes because he broke it down and went through. This is what I stayed up late to watch it because I was tired, but I wanted to do it. Just really talking about how we exist in the space of the untruth. We don't deal with the truth. We don't deal with the truth, and the truth is too hard and too ugly and too messy. And us not living in this space of truth, which goes back to my work. You know, like I'm sitting here, like I'm not telling you anecdotal stories. I'm talking about facts. I'm talking about GI Bill. I'm talking about redlining. I'm talking about housing, wealth, economy, all the things that people historically denied and kept out of. This is not my thoughts and personal opinion. This is the actual, real, life truth we're discussing here. That you have to decide how you want to, what you're going to do about it. You know, it's funny. I've been doing a lot of these sessions where people are like, we need to talk about this. We don't know how to do. We need someone to help. We need someone to facilitate, help us have these conversations. And I get it. I'm like, yes, it's my invoice, and let's talk about how we're going to do this. And I find myself like, I had a revelation today because I have a big one coming up this week, and I was okay, right, gotta make sure. And what they challenge me, this, that, and it's a moment being like, you know what, you got this. Prepare and get myself in place. But I'm at a moment of like, I have to have confidence and know that what I am talking about is the truth. And the fact that I'm sitting here like, oh, what if they research and find I got something wrong, or I use a word wrong, or all the things that are up in space that are prepared to make me doubt and question myself. There's a rap artist I like to quote. You may have heard of his name is Jay-Z.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he has this line about brush that dirt off your shoulders. That is where I'm just, you know what? No, I got time for y'all. Here are the facts. I love your response. I'd love to talk about it. Say whatever you want to say, but these are the facts. Not me thinking like, oh, I wish I would. No. here's what happened in our American society, and here's what we are because of how that happened.
Mm.
What are you going to do? Thank you. May I have my check?
Thank you.
It's nice to see you all. I'm gonna see. Seriously,
Beautiful.
it's incredible, 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 incredible. But I am hopeful.
Yeah.
I feel much better. I woke up this morning, and when we had 4 years of like, oh, and then we had a couple of days of like, oh, is this going to happen again? That was just evil. We all need a break. It's like we all need a break. We all need a retreat, something after that, because that was just intense, you know. So
need a little break. Well, we need a little respite. We need some time. But I think it's important that we remain hopeful. Hopeful and vigilant. And I think if we remain hopeful, vigilant, make sure that we hold elected officials accountable, and not fall so much in love with what they represent, and not forget who they're supposed to represent. That's the piece. So to holding folks accountable, to making sure that we can get this thing right. I think that's the way that we need to be thinking about this as we move forward.
I think that's smart.
Yes, sir. Any final toast, good brother?
Final toast. You know, I was thinking about this thing here that we do. You know, and it is really a space of black male joy. You know, it's necessary.
Yes,
it's necessary. Sometimes I can't lie. It's nothing like, oh, who am I going to say? Got something to say tonight? What's going to happen? Just say, you know what? Chill. It's just good to drink some brown, have a conversation, and find out way forward. And I've never felt at a loss for an idea or words in these conversations. So my final toast would be to our ability to continue to show up and be present and exist in this black male joy space.
I love it. Love it. Right there with you, brother. And I'm glad to be a part of that journey with you.
Right on. Right on. On we go. Oh, it's got all the windows up in here.
Woo woo.
I'm honored to have sampled and lived in your space for a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
What makes it says Kentucky straight bourbon? What does that mean? That means it's not a mix.
To my knowledge, there's so many stringent rules when it comes to the bourbon. Now, I think that means it's not cut with other stuff. Because there's some blends, for example.
Right.
There might be some blended bourbons. But I think it's just straight. Not cut with other stuff, not blended. Yes.
Think about who first discovered this. Like, they left something somewhere too long. Like, it went bad. Yo. I forgot about that barrel. It's been there for a couple of months, couple of years. I just forgot. Open it up. What you think? Whew, it's intense. You gonna try it? I'm not gonna try it. You try it. If you try it, I'll try it. And then like 2 hours later, they like bent over laughing. You got something. You got some. Call your cousin. Eric! Yo, Eric, come taste this. Come taste.
I can only imagine. Particularly when folks are like, listen, because they still it and it's clear, 100% clear, just clear. They're like, we're just gonna hold this here. Yo, we change colors.
Right, exactly.
Is it dirty? What is it?
Oh, no. You can try. I'm gonna try. Let me see. Okay, it smells. Oh, so it's definitely a different taste. Yeah, I think I have a few things to say to you right now. Like,
right. It's like I want so in these Rona streets, and unfortunately, as numbers go back up, in these Rona streets, right? Do you think there's a way for us to have like a virtual bar where folks can like join us for conversation. Just a little cost of admission, you know. And then maybe, just maybe, we can, you know, if they're local, we can drop off some brown to folks, you know, just so we can drink the same thing.
You know what? I always love your enterprising mind. Yes. 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 I didn't got to think about that. Yes. Yeah. 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 People would pay it for me. Come on.
Listen, well, we might have to, you know, we might have to do the brown juice barbershop.
I'm ready.
You know, and if folks come in, we just talk a little ish.
Yeah, right. Well, we need a license to sell.
You know, here's the thing, you know, because what it is that I think if we just sell the conversation,
no,
it could be BYOB.
I'm talking about the drop offs. I'm trying to
drop off. Oh, we probably need a license to sell for all that, you know, for the drop off. But you know, though, you know, if we dropped off Kool-Aid,
exactly. Ain't nobody. I ain't never seen nobody with them plastic rum drinks or plastic. What those drinks called?
Oh, those nutcrackers.
No, I ain't never seen no nutcracker. Nobody with a license with a nutcracker.
No license for that, brother. Please. So here's the thing. I'm dropping people off. You know, whatever it happens to be in. Let's just say, maybe it's in a Hawaiian Punch container. It's probably Hawaiian Punch, though. You know, it's probably Hawaiian Punch. So, I mean, I'll drop somebody off some Hawaiian Punch or a pitcher of Kool-Aid, you know.
Remember the Hawaiian Punch with the can?
Yes.
They do it on both sides so the air.
Yes. Wow. That just took me back. Yes. Because you realize she's like, oh, you're a rookie. You only punched on one side. Look at this clown. You a one side puncher. You a one hole puncher over here.
It ain't coming out. Give me that. Right. You didn't catch up. You do it on both sides.
Makes it flow better. It just makes it flow better.
Right. Exactly.
Well, we got to think this through and make it happen.
Oh, I love. A seed has been planted.
Yes.
Let's give it some. Let's water that, nurture, give it some roots, and get it something sharp. Okay, beautiful.
Listen, I'm working on a storefront, brother. I need to find a storefront where we get in this spot. You know, like I told you this. So listen, you know, I was thinking, I'm like, you know, there's some real estate nearby, and so the place that closed down is not too far from us. Is Trolley Car Diner, right? Trolley Car Diner. And I've been in there only one time, maybe twice, because I think one time for a meeting. And there's a downstairs and an upstairs. I'm like, how dope would it be if folks was cutting hair downstairs and the bar was upstairs? Ooh. I'm just saying, you know. I'm just saying. Anybody got investors? Got any angel investors out there seed money?
Hello.
You know, I could put together a business plan in a day if we got people out here. So let a brother know.
Just put it in the chat. Put it in the
chat. Yes, sir. All right. Well, till next time. Stay safe. Stay hopeful. All right. Stay vigilant. And we'll holler. Brown Juice Barbershop.
Juice Barbershop. Place to be.
Always. Peace.